Managing stress levels is vital for our own health and also for the health of the organisation. Working long hours with few breaks does not mean a good job done. Usually it means exhaustion, bad temper, mistakes and low morale. There are many stress indicators which will be covered fully in the following modules, but from my perspective the main indicators and the things to really watch out for are a loss of humour, a loss of temper, a change in normal behaviour and fatigue. When challenges are positive, then they are achievable. When demands are unpredictable, uncontrollable, uncertain and unfair, they then become sources of negative stress, and the scene is set for failure. One of the most pervasive is requiring our brain to constantly process information and to multitask via phone calls, text messages, emails, instant messaging, all reflective of the fact of our on-demand society. Yes, energy is for action. When stresses are psychological, we need to do something physical to burn up the stress hormones. The first step is to learn to breathe in a way that keeps relaxation in the body. If we control the breath, we control the mind. Often people breathe high up in the chest, and that sends a message to the brain that we're stressed. We need to lower our breath so we're breathing into the base of our lungs. You can place your hands on your stomach like this, and if you're breathing correctly, your hands will move. What this does is send a message to the brain via the vagus nerve that everything is fine and that we're relaxed. This is something that you develop over time and something that you need to practice every day until it is your normal way of breathing. Other things we can do in the short term is, first of all, take some kind of exercise. A 10-minute walk is really good enough, a brisk 10-minute walk. Second thing we can do, and this is really useful in meetings that are stressful or when you're in a place where you can't do anything very obviously physical, is to place your feet firmly on the ground, take a breath and then just flex the muscles in your thighs. Hold them for as long as you can and then gently release. And what this does is mop up the stress hormones. So you can keep repeating that, and as you do, you'll notice that your stress levels will start to reduce. Another technique you can use is to place your hands together in a prayer position and press hard on the fingers as you take an in-breath for 5, then you hold for 5 and gently breathe out again for 5. And you can repeat this up to 5 or 10 times. Those techniques will actually help to reduce stress in the short term. It's really important to have both and to make sure that you're physically alert and mentally alert. But what I want to talk about here is the lens through which we view the world and ourselves, because that becomes our reality. Each time a negative thought arises, like I can't do this, immediately counteract it with the positive thought, I can do this. Very simple exercise. And then make a positive image of success in your mind. Within a few weeks, your brain will naturally orient towards the positive. Let's make meditation part of your daily routine and yoga part of your weekly routine at minimum. Meditation doesn't have to be sitting passively cross-legged. You can get into the zone through swimming, running, cycling or walking. The main point is to focus your mind. There are many, many benefits and well-researched benefits of yoga. So I'll just mention a couple here. First of all, it sharpens your mental clarity. And secondly, getting into challenging postures increases your mental and your physical endurance, so we cope with stress better on an everyday basis. The Buddhist monk Matthieu Ricard poses the question, who amongst us waits asking, may I suffer the whole day? Probably no one, yet we still maintain behaviours that impact our lives negatively. Take an honest look at yourself and your life and ask questions. What is really important in my life? Look at your family, your career, your friends, your health, your leisure time. And then ask yourself, what do you need to do? B360 can provide guidance in a number of areas, but only you can deliver your own solutions.